want to get into the top 1%, then you need to learn some harsh truths. 20% of new businesses fail within the first year, 48% fail within the first 5 years, 65% fail within 10 years. Only about 25% make it to the 15-year mark. Why? We all have the same 24 hours in our day, but the people who win, they're not squeezing more into their calendar. They're building a routine that focuses on what actually matters and hiring great people at speed. We're talking about the operating systems of the quietly successful top 1%. If you haven't met me before, hi, I'm Trisha Shortino, the CEO of BELAY, and I've helped thousands of business owners get out of the weeds and back into the work that moves their business forward. So let's get into it. Rule number 1, protect your morning. It also sets the tone for your entire day. The top 1% start the day with their priorities, not somebody else's. Why? Focus your best energy on the things that actually deserve it. Block it, defend it, and start with one meaningful win every day. I used to hit the ground running in the morning and not protect my mornings because I thought I was getting ahead of everybody else at work. The truth is, I would blink, it would be midday, and I was exhausted. The problem with not pacing myself was that there was an entire second half of the day that needed to be accomplished, and I was useless after 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I still had a lot of good hours I needed to continue to lead, so I learned that protecting my morning and pacing myself was the best thing I could do to have a successful entire day. Rule number 2, do less meetings. There is a reason why there are so many memes about this. Less meetings, no more meetings. You want to use your time as if it's billable. This shows which meetings add value and what is just noise. It also frees up mental space to focus on what really matters. So today I use filters, no default invites. I'm actually stopping and pausing for every single meeting I'm in. Whether I'm the one initiating the meeting or I'm being asked to attend a meeting, I want to know first and foremost, what is the purpose of this meeting? What are we here for? And what's the agenda? As far as I'm concerned, you should never have a meeting that doesn't have an agenda. And you should never have a meeting that doesn't have a reason. My schedule shifted from reactive chaos to strategic, purposeful blocks, and meetings became very intentional. I stopped saying yes to everything, and with the support of my EA, I filter and prioritize all of the requests so my mental bandwidth can be cleared, letting me focus on deep work and priorities throughout the day. And she's held me completely accountable because I'm no longer afraid to say no. I need to guard my time to make sure I'm spending it on the most valuable things for the organization, and I encourage you to do the same. Just say no. I use this formula. If it's just for sharing information, it doesn't need to be a meeting, it should be an email or a video. If it's a discussion or in a conversation where we need to make a decision, that gets on the calendar for a meeting. Rule number 3, schedule strategic time. I used to just try and fit it in between everything else, but I realized that wasn't gonna work. We are no longer doers, and we need to have clear boundaries and time to cast vision and strategy for our organization. You need the think time, not just react time. Putting this on your calendar shows that you are planning to be thoughtful and have insight into what's going on in your business and the future of your business, and it's not just random output when you have a moment. It reveals the cost of nonstop doing when you don't have this time. Even if you just build in 1 hour a day of strategic time, it will shift everything. For me, this is the difference that I felt when Cameron, my executive assistant, actually started to block space on my calendar instead of leave space on my calendar. Instantly, this margin was labeled think. Create strategy, take a mental break. These blocks on my calendar actually helped me increase productivity and have more clarity throughout my day. And transparently, I got a lot more done than I would have if there was just blank space on the calendar. Rule number 4, energy management beats time management. You want to match your best energy to your most important work and protect it all, especially when it comes to your thinking. But it also breaks the cycle of using your best hours on low impact tasks. If you're a morning person, don't use it to knock off tasks. Use it to do your deep work. If you're more energized in the afternoon, block your afternoons for that deep strategic work. Understand aligning your energy with your most important work is a hack for the 1%. For me, I was at the best in my mornings, and I was using it to accomplish stupid little tasks. I've changed that since, and I've used my mornings for very strategic strategic meetings, decision-making work, and high-impact work that truly moves the business forward. That is my priority first thing every single morning, and it set me up for the rest of the day. Now, I know that the most important rocks for the day have been accomplished by the time I get to lunch because I've scheduled it that way. Rule number 5, learn to delegate properly. The top 1% get better results than the bottom 99%. And why? They don't do it by themselves. No one does it by themselves. They do it because they delegate. They do it because they hire well. They do it because they know that they own results, not just tasks, and they hire people that own results, not just tasks. Outcome-based support multiplies impact, but it also keeps you from being the final bottleneck. So if you can't teach and release tasks and eventually ownership, you're just going to fail, and your business is going to fail with you. You have got to figure out how to teach, hire, and lead people to do the work that you do today so you don't have to do it tomorrow. The top 1% are not running on hustle. They're running on systems, and they're ruthless about protecting their energy and their intention. And you can do that too, and you can do it starting today. Start with one time block, one less meeting, one delegated outcome. That's how it works. Just start with one. And if you want help figuring out what you should actually be doing with your time versus what you should actually be delegating, I've put together everything in my free resource, Delegate to Elevate. Hit the link in the description and stop wasting time on work that doesn't need your brain.